Silver Dollar.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another week of Xbox Live Indie Games. We've got 13 games this week, 13 games released from the week of October 13th to October 19th, 2013, and we're starting off with another gem from Silver Dollar Games. It's called Censored. So what's Censored about? Well, there are 5 levels, I guess if you want to call them that. We can only access the first 2, Reporter and Warrior, Teacher, Actor, and President. They're locked off to us. You should probably be able to get the gist of what Censored is all about very quickly.
In today's news, Silver Dollar Games releases a game about censor. No, you don't censor out swear words or any coarse In fact, the game has no coarse Why is that, you might ask yourself? Because they simply weren't allowed to. The goal of the game is to, and I'm reading this directly from the press release I have in front of me, to get creative with the The game features just one button. You simply press A anytime to censor speaker. A function I wish I had available when my ex-boyfriend calls me at 3 in the morning. You can press A as often as you want and for as long as you want. When I interviewed Silver Dollar and told them I don't see the point of the game, they had this to say. The game features 5 stages in different and unique scenarios. Well, there you have it. More material for bloggers. I'm sure their keyboards are heating up as we speak. And Tom, if you're listening, you're not getting your CD collection back. The year's 2013 and CDs are dead. Move on. I'm throwing them out.
Okay, so you can see the hilarity that ensues in Censored, which seems to be just taking from, what was that, it's a bit Jimmy Kimmel does, I guess, where they censor out words that don't need to be censored out, makes it sound all dirty. That's basically what this is, I guess.
Today, I stand among you not as a general, not as a warrior, but as a Like many of you, my and children were taken from me. I was left for dead in the plains of Erin. I crawled back from the shadows of hell for one reason: to stand here, my brothers, as your brother. We all have lost someone close to us, and today they fight by our side. Their spirits dance in the wind, their souls peer down on us from the sky. We don't fight for our lost ones, we fight with them. The enemy is vast, they outnumber us, but there's one thing the enemy doesn't have. I'm willing to die for justice. I'm willing to die for the ones I love. I'm honored to die next to you, my brothers. This is our time. Our time to tell the enemy we won't. This is our time to tell the enemy our and there's no more. Together we'll make them. This moment will remain in history as ours. Win or lose, live or die, the gods above will remember that we were a nation built on Now, let's make the ground tremble. Let's make the world shake. Raise your weapons and prepare yourselves for glory. If you find yourself in a place covered in roses and sunlight, don't because you're already Men, let's march now! To battle we go!
I think that, I don't know, I guess the humor kind of loses something if you can actually read what it is that's being said. I don't know, I don't remember the bit very much from Jimmy Kimmel, but I think that the whole idea was that you didn't know what it was that was being bleeped out, and through effective bleeping they could make it look like that the people were talking about something that they weren't talking about at all. But in this, you can just see flat out what it is that they're saying. I don't know. Maybe someone might find amusement for this for a few minutes. But we'd have to buy the game if we wanted to see how we could stick it to teacher, actor, and president, which I'm sure you're all dying to do. As, well, that seems to be all for yet another Silver Dollar Game of the Week that they banged out in probably 5 minutes. It's been a few weeks in a row at this point, I think, that we've had Silver Dollar games every week. I wonder how long they can keep it up. That's Censored. Yet another thing that Silver Dollar Games has released on Xbox Live Indie Games, in which you kind of wonder, wonder why they did that. I guess there must be someone who wants to buy it, someone who wants... I guess if you just keep releasing things like this enough, if you just keep constantly doing it, maybe the amount you make from these adds up. It can't be a whole lot from any one game, but maybe if you keep doing it every week... I don't know, maybe it adds up. I can't imagine how, though. But that's Censored from Silver Dollar Games. It's a Silver Dollar game, and that's all you need to know. Next up is Magic Soccer. It's a soccer game for Xbox Live Indie Games. So since, of course, at least I know so much about soccer, I am the perfect individual to talk about the great game and the accuracy that Magic Soccer has to the actual sport. I will bring my expertise to talking about the game of Magic Soccer. We'll start with the default teams, which seem to be... Yeah. There we go. It's, we're about to start the game, so I guess let's get out onto the pitch. I think that's what we're going out onto. We can hear the crowd getting into the proceedings. Not sure what they're saying. It sounds like they're chanting something. And here the Magic Soccer players come out onto the green by that big circle. Now the Magic Soccer shall begin. As soon as we finish our pre-match... Okay, no, soccer's begun. We are doing soccer right now. And I am... Okay, yes, I am going down the field. I know, because the other team is going up it, so I can only assume I'm going down. That's how... It's how this goes. It's how the... Yes, okay. I am playing as soccer players, and the game seems to be running smoothly enough. Whoop. I can't... I think it's a pretty competent adaptation of the game of soccer to the video screen, in my expert opinion. I'm kicking the ball. There is passing. No shooting as of yet, because we have not gotten very close to the goal box. No, there was a foul. Some kind, I think. Offsides is probably what it was. I think that's what you said. I seem to be having some difficulty getting the ball all the way down to the bottom of the field, which is where I need to get it. Oh no. The goalie got the ball. And, okay. The goalie kicked the ball down to the player. One of the white players just fell over. I wonder if you can pretend to be hurt in this game. That's one of the things I know about soccer, is that acting like you're hurt is very important to the sport, in the hopes that the ref will pull out the red card that when you get touched, you must fall over and start flailing about, hoping that someone buys into it. That's my understanding of how this game goes. Oh no. I have to get the ball away from my goal. I know at least that much. Okay. That is a wonderfully rendered crowd. I I mean, I can't say can't say too much. It is an Xbox Live indie game, so we can't have too high expectations for that. And like I said, the game runs smoothly enough. This game of soccer, which I know tremendous amount of facts about. I don't know if it's going to get any different from this, so maybe this is enough Magic Soccer for right now. Because I'm going to guess it's just this for the duration of the game. I don't think that Magic Soccer is going to introduce any wacky, novel elements to the great game. Yes, I won. I won the World Cup. Congratulations to me. I won everything. That's how soccer is won. You get 1 point, and then the game is over, right? I think that's how it is. So that's Magic Soccer. It seems to be a good simulation of the game of soccer, as I know it because I know a whole lot about soccer. Football to our European friends. The very first game from Devotional Games, a special occasion. You always remember your first time releasing something on Xbox Live Indie Games. Fritter and Waste get lost in the mountains. Fritter and Waste seems to be a two-player game, I would say. It looks like they want it to be 2 players, but only 1 player here. So let's start it off. What's it about? I tried out the first 2 areas, level 0 and level 1, just see what Sandbox is about, as it loads up the variety of assets that the game will use, such as the map, such as the character and monster models, and the textures. Yep, there it is, textures. It's as you'll see, there are many things that were needed to be loaded into this level, the sandbox level. A cache of many monsters, to be sure. Okay, here we go. This is the game. This is Fritter and Waste. Okay, it's going to tell us how to play Fritter and Waste. We can practice fighting monsters. We can make them spawn. We can fire spells. Like, okay, there's a monster. It has spawned. I will fire spells at it. Oh, now it's active. Okay. And I can hurt it. And I can use this water spell to hit it a whole bunch while it's hitting me. Wonderful. We have different types of spells that we can use. And that, as you can see all the assets that were loaded up. The map, the texture work, the model work. You can see why it took a while to load all that up. We run around on this hex field, which I guess is what kind of measures our distance from our character to our monster enemies. Let's go to the next level. Because the next one is Mass Monsters, in which a bunch of monsters... Okay, it loaded up instantly. Great, because we did all that loading before. A bunch of monsters, yep, here we go. They're all coming at us. The monsters do different things. Some of them will run right up to us and try to do damage. Others are mages. It will appear and will fire spells at us, so I'm constantly moving to avoid that trail of spells. As you can see, that purple stuff... Yeah, that'll hurt us. I have this one spell, looks like some kind of water spell, that I use a lot because I can move around and just sort of hit these guys and strafing by them. Doesn't do as much damage as some of the other spells, it seems. But since I am trying to move around a lot to not get hit by this constantly following path of purple destruction, and I keep missing with that one. It's taken a while. It seems to be working well enough, though. So I guess this is the whole game? This is how it works? It's just you're sort of in this arena? Am I out of MP? Oh, no, there we go. Yeah, I think I'm not doing too well in the MP. Oh, I froze everyone. Okay, here we go. So yeah, I'm guessing that this is what the whole game's like. You're just in this arena with a bunch of monsters. You have to use your magic to kill them. I guess that's what we're doing. There's probably a better way of doing it than what I'm doing right now. It seems to be working okay, so this is how I'm just keep doing it, but it's probably not the best way. I probably could be using a wider variety of spells to attack these guys. But as far as what I have to do right here, which is constantly move to avoid getting hit and attack these guys at the same time, this seems to be working. Even though it's not exactly... It didn't seem like the most efficient way I could have gone about doing that. But I completed the stage. I did it. And that means we can move on to Stage 3, Boss 1. It's actually Stage 2 because we started with 0. There's the boss. He's large. And he seems to spawn smaller guys. I guess this is what we do in this game. Oh, I died. It seems I failed the stage. Well, that's Fritter and Waste. We could spend more time with this, but we have a bunch of games we have to get through before the end. So there are 13 games released this week, but I think that's a good enough taste of Fritter and Waste. So, are you the master of platforms? Are you the Plat Master? Because if you are, then maybe you'll be good enough to play the Plat Master. We have to get through 50 floors. And we have a limited number of platforms that we can use. That's us. I used all my platforms. Now I'll die. So that's how it goes. Alright, this is how an actual Plat Master would do it. There we go. The Master of Plats. And I guess this music will play throughout the entire 50 floors, I will assume. We can shoot our platforms in different directions, but for right now, I'm just causing them to appear underneath me. And they only appear there... Oh, I messed up. They only appear for a limited amount of time. And yes, the green glowing stuff will kill us. It is difficult to become a master of plats. There we go. No, that was not it. How will I ever earn the title of Plat Master if I cannot even do this? No. Timing is critical if you wish to become a Plat Master. Alright, there we go. You probably get the idea of what this game's about, but just to show, we have different platforms, we can shoot it out to the sides, we can make a shield like that, but now I lost all my platforms, so I die. This is kind of an odd one. Now I'm out of platforms, so I die. And that's how this seems to keep going. I'm not sure how to get by this one, so I guess I can't call myself a Plat Master, because I can't get by this level. I don't know how to do it. And because of the sound effects make me kind of want to gouge my ears out with a screwdriver, I think that we'll just stop right here and stop our quest to trying to become a Plat Master. But you can do it. You can do it yourself. Try to become a Plat Master, because it was released this week on XSplit, on Xbox Live Indie Games. If you really want to try to become a Plat Master, it's here for you. If you think you can survive the music and sound effects, it's right here. Plat Master on XSplit this week. So, this is kind of an odd coincidence, because our next game is Decay, the Mare. We're currently looking at the original Decay series on the horrors of XSplit, but now a new Decay has come out. Like I said, an odd coincidence. So, like the original Decay, Decay the Mare begins mysteriously and with overtones of suicide. Let's play the tutorial. The game works the same way as original Decay does. Except this time, we know that we're in some sort of mental institution because we came here to get help. So we're not starting off the game hanging in our bathroom. We can't leave our room. Much like the first Decay, the first puzzle seems to be, how do we open the door? Not many things we can interact with in our room, except we have not taken our meds. Why are we even here if we're not going to take the prescribed medication? Yeah, let's take it. I mean, there's a reason why it was prescribed for us.
What is a friend?
Apparently, taking the pills caused us to reminisce about some home movies we took, apparently, in black and white, and it was very fuzzy, very fuzzy. But we took our pills. We woke up on the floor. That's probably not how those pills are supposed to work. Yeah, I guess we forgot to go to bed. We remained standing after taking the pills. We probably should have lied down. Oh, but now our door is open. Did someone unlock it while we weren't here? Or rather, unconscious? This seems unnecessary. We're coming to this institution to get help, and they put down these cage bars in front of our door. We can't seem to interact with anything in this screen. Oh, but there is a hallway we can go down. Can't see or open the door, see who might be our neighbor. Same here. But this door is for authorized personnel only. We probably shouldn't be going in there. Let's go in there anyway. Yeah, this certainly is a room that should only be accessible to authorized personnel. A lot of sensitive material in here. A crawl space. So far in these screens, there has not been too much we can interact with. There are more rooms we can access right off the bat than the first Decay, I think, but the first Decay, I think, had more things to look at in those rooms. We might as well go downstairs instead of just going back to our room. Time is an illusion. We do seem quite confused. This does not seem like a very well-kept mental institution. Everything's all rusty, and there are cage bars everywhere. And some sort of nightmarish abomination that just appeared behind us. Doesn't seem to be like too many ways we can go right now. Just seems to be all heading in one direction. Doesn't seem to be anything I can do with this screen, though. A puzzle? Perhaps. We have not been given any indication of what numbers might be the correct ones right now. So let's take a look around and see if we can find anything that might give us a clue. Oh, I guess we will not find out what that is after all, because we ran out of time. The ultimate enemy of every Xbox Live indie game, the time limit for each demo. So that's it for Decay the Mare, Episode 1. Like with the original Decay, it seems that this is going to be episodic. There will be multiple parts. I don't know if it's going to be 4 parts like the first Decay, but it does say that this is only the first episode. So, as we can see, it does seem to be very similar in terms of gameplay, tone, and atmosphere as the original Decay. And I think that's all right. I think the original Decay was pretty interesting in what it did, even though pretty much just amounted to being a short point-and-click adventure game. And this seems to be more of the same. Whether or not that's a good thing is going to be up to you. But that's more Decay. In Decay the Mare, Episode 1, now available on XBlig. I don't know when the following episodes will be coming out, but the first one is out now. Next up on Xbox Live Indie Games is a syringe. Let's press A. Okay, and we'll press... Yeah, oh, yeah, there we go. The game's called Mullet Man. Kind of just jumps us right into it. And we're a edited Mega Man sprite. We have Arrogant Life, and we, instead of a Mega Buster, we have a Mac 10, Mac 888. And we're collecting dots. No music playing. And we seem to be very active when we're standing around, swinging our arms about. We just can't wait to just get on, start moving. There's an enemy. It fell in the acid and died. Seems to be what's going on here. So, I mean, I guess it doesn't really look like a mullet to me. He has a head of hair. I can't see the back of it. I don't know the accuracy of the name Mullet Man. Or really what's going on here at all. If you might wonder if the game controls as well as the NES Mega Mans, which it's obviously emulating, no. No, it is not. Just to clear that up. We can shoot, by the way. I haven't had a need to yet, but yeah, we can do that. That kills us instantly, it would seem. Okay, so I don't know what's going on here. What Mullet Man is about? Or what we're trying to do? It looks like the acid does not kill us instantly. Game just kind of throws us into the middle of things. The only thing that we really know is that we want to collect these dots, and the game makes that quite apparent. Oh. Secret wall. Maybe we'll try to go on until we get to a ball. Oh, hold on. We got a key card. As we can see in the top of the screen, there are 5 keycards we could be collecting to open these doors. I'm assuming everything will become clear any second now. Whoops. I still can't tell if that's a mullet that Mullet Man is sporting. I think that will greatly affect my enjoyment of the game. Don't really have much to say about Mullet Man right now. Kind of curious about where it's going, but okay, there's nothing there. Okay, now we're back here. I assume that if this is based on Mega Man, that there's going to be some kind of boss at some point? Or some kind of goal beyond just picking up these dots. Not to say that collecting dots isn't fun, but I am looking for a bit more of a purpose from Mullet Man right here. Alright, there's that. I mean, it is nice to be able to shoot in both directions without having to turn. It's got that going for it. Fortunately, these yellow things are checkpoints. This kind of seemed not very exciting without any kind of music going on, though, doesn't it? Probably could use something like that. I also noticed that my ammo is limited. Oh, red key card. So that's 2 out of 5. Great. I wonder if all 5 will be needed to complete this level. Or if there's any... Oh, I'm back at the checkpoint. Is there anything else to the game besides this one level? I probably shouldn't be spending this much time on the one game, considering how many games we have to get to. It does kind of make me curious, though, as to if this is going somewhere. Is there a reason to be collecting these dots at all? Do points do anything? I don't know. Oh, the yellow card. How can I get around to get that? The controls are very floaty, by the way. When I mentioned that it does not control as well as the NES Mega Man games, really not exaggerating there. It does not control well at all, really. It's very floaty. Does not feel precise at all. So it may look like Mega Man, but don't let that fool you. No, don't let that fool you. We reached the end of the time limit before we could actually figure out if Mullet Man was actually going to be going anywhere, if there's going to be a boss or anything. Can we see what the description of this game is? Hold on, let me just see something here. Let's see what it has to say. Mullet Man is a moral man, principled, disciplined, a man of roids and wisdom. Trapped between two worlds, between the 80s and the 90s, he walks the line between the past and the future, between good and gilded robots. No, that doesn't really tell me anything, and doesn't really explain why Mullet Man is so hyperactive when he stands still. It doesn't explain why we're going through some sort of warehouse full of dead and crucified Mullet Mans, or really what the goal here was. I'm sure it must all come together if you play the full game of Mullet Man, so if this demo made you want to do that, it's available on XBlig. Next up is Blocks Editor. We've actually played a few games, I think, by the maker of Blocks Editor before. The last one was, I believe, some sort of deathmatch game in which you used your avatars to pilot robots in a Minecraft-looking world. This one just seems to be, you build creations with blocks? I guess that's what it is, and you can download creations that other people have made. And no, I don't want to buy the game. That's alright. I can go without it, I think. Let's see. Alright, this is what I wanted to see. Destroy mode, in which we can also... yeah, we can just blow them up, if we so choose. So, I mean, if you want to create your own block sculptures, you can do that with a new empty slot, but I mean, you have some pre-made things, such as that dragon, which unfortunately I can't load in the trial version. I would have liked to see the dragon. You can load up this sword. And we can just blow it up with the gun. And as you can see, there are building tools here if we want to edit our own blocks. Yep, there we go. I'm adding all kinds of blocks. I can change the color. Like, oh, look at this blood that I'm putting on this sword. I'm making this game real edgy. Rated M for mature, because now that sword is covered with blood. Sort of. And that's Blocks Editor. I guess if you wanted to make your own block creations, it will let you do that. I don't know if the files that you make from this can be used in any other games, maybe other games by Maximinus Studios. I don't know if there's any intention for that. It could be kind of interesting if there is a way to use this in other programs, but I don't know if there is. So as far as I can tell, it's just make your own block sculptures and blow them up if you want, and download other people's block sculptures, and blow them up if you want. That seems to be what Blocks Editor is all about. Next up is Avatar Trials Ninja Redemption. And this says Avatar Trials 2, but it didn't say that on the dashboard. Apparently this is the sequel to something else. I don't remember Avatar Trials 1, if we ever looked at that. Alright, let's start it out. We can only go with the initiation. The other levels are locked off in the demo. Alright, so what are we doing? Well, we're loading first of all. Alright, here we are. We can run around. We have a sword strapped to our back. Don't see a way of using the sword, but we can jump and we can double jump. And we have to maneuver these platforms as a real Avatar ninja would. That's a checkpoint. It's available in practice mode. But if we're a real Avatar ninja, obviously we will not need the checkpoints. It just seems to be running and jumping, as far as I can tell. You might see some vertical walls ahead in the distance. What will we do with those? we'll do this. We'll run on the walls, as ninjas will do. I missed that one. Let's see if we can get back up there. Let's see, a real Avatar ninja would have been able to just cleanly make that jump and run on the wall from there. There we go. So it seems like the whole purpose of the game is basically fast platforming. As you can see, there's a timer, which I guess the intention is for you to beat your score, beat your time if you want. Maybe beat other people's time? Maybe you can do that. In this level so far, there does not seem to be any kind of combat or reason for me to have that sword on my back. It's just all about running and jumping and running on walls, and running on the other side of this wall. Oh, there we go. Didn't mean to do that, but I saved myself. Oh, hold on. Mash the A button while pressing up against the wall. Okay, and we can just jump up the wall like that. And we'll need to do it here for this very vertical wall. I did it! And some sort of nightmare in the lower left corner is telling me that there were more levels to unlock. See, that guy, he's, I guess, our trainer, because he insults us if I die. Like, for example, if I do this. Yeah, he has things he has to tell us. He has a low opinion of us, and will let us know if we die, as we are doing here. I don't even know what that is. I have not seen that anywhere else in the game. He just appears there in the corner. I don't know how I feel about the control and the camera system. I mean, the idea of the game I don't think is bad. Whoop. See, he gets kind of insulting if our platforming skills are not up to par, not up to his expectations. Can't seem to do the jump climb up the edge of the wall, so maybe I can't do that. Alright, so Dragon Trainer in the corner, I think, is just repeating his insults now. I'll just try this one more time and see if we can do it. If I can get on top. Nope. No, I am pathetic, I guess. I really am. I am no Avatar Ninja. But you might be. You might be an Avatar Ninja with Avatar Trials Ninja Redemption, which is now available on XBlig, if you want to try for it yourself and see if you can get by the level without the dragon trainer thing, I guess, insulting you. Maybe you can. Who knows? Or maybe you're just pathetic like I am and no true Avatar Ninja. But you can try for yourself with Avatar Ninja's Trial Redemption on XBlig this week. Next up is Halloweenies, just in time for the season. Because, you know, it is typical on XBlig, when you're getting close to a holiday, that there are themed games coming out. And thinking about it, there have not been many for Halloween that I can think of. So here we're walking around, we can shoot. We have to take the next up road to find the vendor house, so let's do that, I guess. We're walking around. I have a limited amount of ammo that I can fire from my slingshot. I know, we're going to the vendor house. Okay, there are enemies. If the porch light is on, it seems that we can stop by and ring the bell. I'm not sure if there's a visual cue that will let us know if the front porch is open. Oh, I killed that thing, and I got candy. That is the way it works on Halloween. Halloween is a kill or be killed holiday. It's rough out there on the suburb streets. Okay, so I guess maybe this is where it's going to stop me from going forward? Yeah, I guess this is the way to the vendor house, maybe? But I can't get there. Let's see, Malcolm is tired of all the other kids in the neighborhood stealing his candy each Halloween, those bastards. This year he is ready to take back what is rightfully his. See, so, like I said, it's all-out war on the suburb streets during the night of Halloween. No survivors will be taken, no mercy given. On this night, Malcolm will get what is his. If anyone tries to get in his way, perhaps they won't see the morning light. I guess that's what Halloweenies is all about. It's about the wholesale slaughter of children by another child who is attempting to get all of the Halloween candy. It's quite a dark theme, honestly. It's quite darker than I would think a game called Halloweenies would be. But I guess, it's honestly shockingly violent material available on Xbox Live Indie Games. Next is Micromazes, which I guess we could press start to skip the intro, but why would we do that? The intro tells us all we need to know about Micromazes. There are doors, there are targets. Skeleton key? Sure. We walk around a maze. Teleporting? Wow. Micromazes has it all, doesn't it? Guessing from that, it seems like there is multiplayer as well, if that's what you're into. The maze doesn't especially seem very micro, though, does it? Okay, and each player has to get to their own spot in the exit. Okay, now that we're done with the intro, let's get started. You know, I have to say one thing I like about Micromazes, and it's maybe a small thing, but something I've mentioned before when looking at XSplit games, is that everything, whenever you press a button, there's instant response, as opposed to many XSplit games in which the menu just kind of doesn't respond instantly, but there's a couple seconds of a delay before something happens. Micromazes is very responsive. It's very smooth, which is something that I like. Oh, we can adjust our hair and skin if we so chose. I guess we have presets instead of being able to set it ourselves. So everything seems to move very smoothly and is very responsive, which is something that, you know, from XSplit games you don't know that you're going to get, but it seems to be here in Micromazes, so that's a good thing. The first maze is very simple, I guess just to get us acclimated to Micromazes. Level 2, come on, that was just as easy. Okay, now we have blocks that we can push. Yeah, we're moving from level to level very quickly. I mean, like I said, I know it's a small thing, but the fact that everything seems very fast and smooth is something that is so rare with Xbox Live Indie games that I kind of like it when it appears in one of these. Oh, I think I trapped myself, so now I have to die. Oh, well no, it just says restart the level, as opposed to something like, Adventures of Lolo, if you remember that, when you screwed up, it just said, yeah, you're gonna kill yourself, you're gonna die. I have to do it again. Alright, so, what am I doing wrong here? Let's move that, and let's think about this, I guess. I'm going to want to get to the left of that block that is stopping me from getting to the exit, so I can do that by doing this. Okay. It appears that the time in the upper right-hand corner is cumulative, not just individual levels, but measures how we're doing across all levels. Alright, now we're introducing keys. I mean, it's a very simple game, and the graphics look very simple too, but, I mean, I think that what it is doing well, even though it's not doing much, if you get what I mean. That was the end of the trial. So trial mode only allowing us to play 10 levels, and like I said, I've said it in previous weeks, I always find it funny when an Xbox Live Indie Games demo has to stop the trial in the middle of things because 8 free minutes would just be too much on its own. Who knows, maybe it would be possible to beat the entire game in 8 minutes if you got good enough at it. I don't know. So maybe that's why they do it. Anyway, that's Micromazes. Like, you can see what it looks like. It's sort of an Adventure of Lolo type game. It runs smoothly, it runs quickly, so I do like that about it. It seems very simple. I don't know if it's really doing a whole lot beyond what we just saw, but from what it is doing it pretty well, I think. So that's Micromazes. Next up is Dot Wars. Or it would be. Except it seems to be multiplayer only, I think. Oh wait, hold on. No, maybe we can play it in one player. Let's see what happens. Alright, there I am. Okay, no, there are CPU players. Though I guess you're really not meant to be playing it with the CPU. You are meant to be playing it with other people, real people. If you believe that other people actually exist. Which it seems to be the agenda that Dot Wars is pushing. That no one is just an island unto themselves. There are actually other people that exist in the same world that you do. And you have obligations to those people. Obligations to play Dot Wars with them. Some people feel that that's all untrue, that everything else in the world is just part of your imagination, that you can only be sure that you exist. Because, of course, obviously, I think, therefore I am. I can't be sure that anyone else is thinking. I can't be sure if anyone else truly exists. Dot Wars says, however, no, you can be sure of it. You can be sure. You can be sure of it by having them play Dot Wars with you. For if you meet someone else just on this road of life that we're all on, and you say, why don't you play an Xbox 360 game with me? Why don't you play Dot Wars? They play Dot Wars with you, and you know you exist, and you know that you are playing Dot Wars, and they are playing Dot Wars as well. Is that not proof of the existence of the other person? That both you and that person exist on this same plane, that they do not exist simply in your imagination. Because even though it's said that the only thing you can be sure of is that you exist, the addendum to that is that you can also be sure that Dot Wars exists, because you're playing Dot Wars. And if someone else is playing Dot Wars, it must mean that they exist as well. Xbox Live Indie Games bringing to us not only the finest and independently developed and published games every single week, but it's also giving us answers to questions that have existed for centuries that were thought to be unsolvable. But now they are, thanks to Xbox Live Indie Games and Dot Wars. We can now prove the existence of other people, that we're not alone in this world. There are other people, and they are playing Dot Wars. Thank you, Dot Wars. Thank you. The next game on Xbox Live Indie Games for this week is Lifeless, an experimental game on a theme of loneliness with multiple endings. So, an art game on Xbox Live Indie Games. How artistic will it be? Well, this is us, and this is the world we're in. Very indistinct, not many details. And we hear this stomping sound as we're flying apart. And yes, that stomping, we disappeared. It seems to increase in intensity as we approach other people. If we can avoid other people, however, then perhaps we can avoid disappearing. No oh, hold on. I'm flying apart. I got too close to that person. No indication on what it is we're supposed to be doing as of yet. We do... Oh, there's someone there who's glowing red, as opposed to everyone else who is not. And we do not fly apart when we approach her, though she is just kind of walking away from us. And I'm pressing the buttons, but we can't seem to interact with her. But she seems to be the only person we can approach without disappearing. Yep. Can't approach anyone else. So this person seems somehow special, even though she doesn't seem to want to have anything to do with us. Well, I mean, we can't just stick around forever, just not doing anything, so let's continue on, exploring the world and attempting not to die from getting too close to other people. It did say this was an experimental game about loneliness. So I guess you would be pretty lonely if you felt that you could not get close to anyone else, as many of us do feel. And perhaps the one person that we feel we can get close to doesn't want to get close to us. What a tragedy that would be. And we are approaching some sort of city of impossible construction, I suppose. I couldn't say if this is our goal, to reach this place, because no goal has been given to us. All we know is that we cannot get too close to others. We can't bear it. Is there a way to reach the city? It does not seem to be. Doesn't seem to be any sort of bridge from this side, or a way to reach. There did not seem to be a way we could connect with the red glowing woman either. The only person we could stand to get close to. Ah, here we go. Perhaps this is how we can enter the city. So what then is the point of loneliness? Or rather, I should say Lifeless is the name of the game. What is the point of it, and what is the goal that we have to reach? It said there were multiple endings, so there must be some way to complete the game. If a game like this could be said to have a completion. Well, at least in this city, there is no one else. No one else to make us fly apart and disappear. But then again, if there's no one here to make us fly apart and disappear, how will we ever get over our loneliness? I fell. I fell off the cliffs of desolation. And okay, we're back where we are. Okay, so we died that way. So, if there is a puzzle here that we have to put together, I'm not sure what it is. I can't get in there. That's too many people. All that we know is that we can't get too close to people, otherwise we will disappear. There is one person we can get close to, but we can't seem to do anything with her. And there's one other location we can reach, but from what we saw, there didn't really seem to be anything to do there except fall off a cliff. I assume there must be some sort of purpose, some sort of objective that we have to reach, but what could it be? You know, honestly, something that this game kind of reminds me of, in the lack of direction and just the look of it in general, is Raiders of the Lost Ark on 2600. That's sort of the feeling I get when I'm playing this. I'm walking around, there's a place I'm at, no idea what I'm supposed to be doing here, or if any direction I'm going in is the right one. Should I be exploring this area? Is there anything here for me? Is there anyone else around here I can get close to without dying? Is there anything I can do with the red woman? Or what about that other city in which there was no one there at all? I don't know which way I'm supposed to go or what I'm supposed to do. But anyway, that's Lifeless on Xbox Live Indie Games. I might be interested in continuing it to see if there's anything I can actually do, or what the goal or what the objective would be, or if there's anything else here to do. Try to figure it out. But as of right now, I really have no idea what it might be. That's Lifeless on Xbox Live Indie Games. Lastly, for this week on Xbox Live Indie Games, the 13th and final title to be released is English 101. So, hey, come on, hey. You want to learn English? You want to improve your English? This is for you. That's your teacher right there. It's Mr. Smith. He looks at us with his unblinking stare, demanding that you acknowledge that you are welcomed to English 101. Let's check our grammar. Let's take a crash course in sentence, if you dare. In order to be a good sentence builder, you need to know your materials, the part of speech, and their function, the parts of a sentence. Each of the parts of speech is covered in more detail later in this app, but this can help you get started. Okay, we've completed the crash course in sentence. I hope you feel much more confident in your ability to build a sentence. What's the parts of speech? Let's see. Hooray, interjection, the, article, principal, noun, said, verb, she, pronoun, may, verb, close, verb, the, article, school, noun, because, conjunction, so, adverb, many, adjective, students, noun, are, verb, sit, adjective, with, preposition, the, article, flu, noun. So if you were wondering what each of these words in the sentence, hooray, the principal said she may close the school because so many students are sick with the flu, now you know. Now you know the role, the function each of these words has in the sentence, which I don't think would actually happen. I mean, a lot of students would need to be sick for the school to be closed just outright. I mean, that would be a huge amount. That's something to really be concerned about if that many students had the flu. You'd have a lot more to be concerned about than sentence structure, I think. Subjects and predicates, you know about that? You probably should, because that'll teach you all about that. A clause, a principal closed the school. I mean, we know the principal closed the school because of the flu outbreak. It's very concerning. A phrase, yeah, principal closing the school because so many students are sick. Are you confident in your ability to building sentence at this point? You should be. I'm actually curious. When a group of words is not in sentence? When is it not a sentence? Fragment? Hold on. Let's see. Slipping down the muddy bank and plopping into the river. Who is slipping and plopping? The subject is missing. Belinda slipped down into the muddy bank and plopping into the river. Maybe it's her. I don't know. It's a mystery, I guess. You know, I know it's surprising to see something as educational as this on XBlig, but let's not forget we have seen things like this before. Like that one game that talked about the U.S. presidents and had all of that accurate information. And we were amazed that you could get that database on Xbox Live Indie Games. And now we have this, a complete crash course in English of proper grammar. The goat, the horse, and the cow broke through the fence because they were trying to get away from the zombies. Now, let's see. They ran away? Yeah. 4 kinds of sentence. Thursday is my gerbil's birthday. You say it very assertively as a declarative sentence. And when you're thinking about interrogative sentences, you think about things like, why do things like this always happen to me? A plea, a cry out in the dark as you wonder why the things that happen to you are happening. Why is your the life that was chosen for all of these bad things to happen? Why do things like this always happen to me? You wonder as you learn English. You know, common sentences that you might hear when you're talking about imperative sentences are things like, put that chicken down or else, and run. I mean, these are sentences you have to say on a daily basis. So it's good that you would practice this as you're practicing your English, because these are very common sentences that you will probably be using very often. I can't count how many times I have to tell people to put the chicken down. An exclamatory sentence expresses strong feelings or emotions, such as my sister's cat had 8 kittens. Not your own cat, but your sister's cat had the 8 kittens. I feel very strongly about this. And when you're thinking about English, when you're thinking about sentence construction, you might think about memories long past, such as when Mom and Dad sang and danced, and the goat, the horse, and the cow broke through the fence and ran away. But whenever I see that monkey, I think of my counselor at camp, waiting here until the spaceship comes. Aren't we all waiting here until the spaceship comes? When will the spaceship come for me? Why do things like this happen to me? We might ask ourselves with interrogative sentences. You know, that bit about the monkey and the counselor, that rings true with me. I constantly have to tell my friend to stop saying that. Stop saying it out loud that the counselor reminds you of a monkey. Because you can't say that out loud. You really shouldn't. I mean, if you're going to think about things in that way, then maybe you just got to keep that to yourself. Don't let anyone else hear you saying that. And then sometimes you just have to go to the people who you care the most about, grab them by the shoulders, and tell them very strongly, I am the cheese. They'll probably tell you that you're going to get into trouble for this. But then you have to point out that Marilyn is not allowed to stay up that late. She is not the cheese. I am the cheese. Here is the verb to rub matched up with all the personal pronouns subjects to show. Yep. Singular and plural forms. You didn't know it could be spelled that way, but no. English 101 on Xbox Live Indie Games is the authoritative source on these things, so I would suggest not contradicting it. The plural form. Again, an alternate spelling, not used very often, but still just as valid. Mr. Smith says it is. Don't disagree with Mr. Smith. So anyway, that's English 101 on Xbox Live Indie Games. That is the 13th title for this week. Well, last week, the week of October the 13th to October the 19th, 2013. 13 titles. What would I say if there's a standout this week? I don't know. I guess Decay. Decay the Mare episode 1 was the one that I was the most interested in this week. And of course, we got our weekly silver dollar game as well in Censored. Someday they'll miss a week, but it was not this week. So that's 13 games released on Xbox Live Indie Games. Quite a few. Oh, okay, we reached the time limit. Surely you would have to buy English 101 because you could not absorb this much information on the subject of English, written English, in just the 8-minute time limit. You would need days, weeks, even, to absorb everything that English 101 has to tell you. Yes, I want to unlock the game. How much does it cost? Okay, $2.99. That's a fair price for the amount of information you will get from this. What does it say? English 101 teaches you grammar, parts of speech, noun, verb, agreement, punctuation, misused words, spelling idioms, and that's it? It kind of seems like it doesn't complete that sentence, but okay. But maybe someday we'll see an English tutor that has violence, sex, and mature content, all 3 out of 3. Maybe someday we can hope for that. Someday Mr. Smith just loses it and goes nuts. And we have the dark follow-up to English 101, English 102. This time it's personal, with Mr. Smith. That's it for this week in Xbox Live Indie Games. Decay was good. I like Decay. I think it's all right. So, see you next week with more of the indie gems that we all come to know and love each week on Xbox Live Indie Games. See you then, I guess.